Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to another episode of Soundout's Toy Chest. This week's clue: 3 typical average kids inside a haunted mansion, just by chance freed a ghost who made them Beetleborgs. Today on Soundout's Toy Chest, we are taking a look at the Big Bad Beetleborgs 5-inch figures, which includes the Blue Stinger Borg, the Green Hunter Borg, and the Red Striker Borg, as well as their nemesis, the ShadowBorg. These are the original Beetleborgs figures released way back when Beetleborgs was first airing during its first season. And this was the line of import figures. These were 4 figures that were released in Japan for Juco B-Fighter. And they were brought to America with pretty much no differences to the actual figures themselves, which is pretty cool. Now, in terms of the figure releases, you notice that we have 4 of the 5 Beetleborgs. The White Blaster Beetleborg was not made as a figure in Japan, as he was strictly in, I think, like 2 or 3 episodes at most. While in America, he was in 2 or 3 episodes, but his character was around a lot longer. So I ended up getting an action feature figure in another line. So unfortunately, I don't have him, but I do have the 4 Beetleborgs here with their weapons. I picked these up at my local comic shop. They'd gotten some Power Rangers and Beetleborg stuff in, and then they got some more Beetleborg stuff in, and this time the figures actually had their weapons. So I picked those up, and I was like, hey, I've got complete figures now. Let's review them. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Big Bad Beetleborgs. So here we have the Blue Stinger Beetleborg. Now this is the leader of the Beetleborgs, who is Blue Beat in Japan, and is a very nice looking figure. What you'll notice right away with all the Beetleborgs figures in the main line is that they are chromed out, and they kept this consistent throughout the Bandai of America exclusive molds too. They chrome out Beetleborgs figures. It's kind of the way things are done. As you can see, he has this very nice chrome, blue chrome, vacuum metallized chrome, as well as stickers for accents. For example, his eyes on his helmet are a sticker. So you got a sticker there, I believe, or that could be, it could be a paint gradient, and stickers are around his head. But you got sticker there, you get stickers around the collar here. You have a lot of stickers on these guys. They did just include a sticker sheet to put in all the details. And I have found some figures out there that don't have the stickers on them. And I really wish there was, like, a company that, or a fan group that would produce reproduction stickers, because you can see some of these down here are peeling, which is problematic, but not much we can do about it. These are figures from 1996. Now, in terms of figure design, he does look quite accurate to the series, and I'm actually quite impressed. Because this is a Bandai of Japan mold, plus, you know, heavy armor, you can't really give him the steroid look that a lot of the earlier Power Rangers figures did. So, that's pretty nice overall. And also pretty nice is articulation range. He's got a swivel head that does move left and right. It does not rotate all the way around, though. You do have swivel shoulders that go 360. You do have a slight outward movement. You have a bicep rotation, something that Mattel can't figure out how to do. And you have an elbow joint. It only works just 90 degrees, but still works. No waist articulation, that's okay. You get hips that move out, forward, and back, plus knees, and a thigh swivel, something else Mattel can't figure out. And nothing in the ankle, but for a figure released in 1996, that's quite impressive. It's more than your average figure at the time, which was still running on 5 points for articulation. Now, in terms of accessories for this guy, he does come with a few. First of all, we have his sonic laser, which you can see they gave it kind of a button look here by adding those lines. It is different on both sides, which is nice, but it does not pull off the look too well, but it does look really good, and it's not purple. That's a big upside. So as you can see, you got a hand peg, typical Bandai fashion. You peg it in the hand like that, and now he's got his sonic laser ready to go. So with the sonic laser, you got him ready to go to blast some Magnivores, which is just great. Now you notice there's these 2 pegs on his arm. We'll get to that later. And with the sonic laser itself, of course, it can store in the holster on the hip, just like that, which works quite well. And of course he does come with his other weapon. And his other main weapon in the series is his Beetle Battler. Now this came in two parts, but you plug this together like this. So you can see we do have the gauntlet piece of the Beetle Battler. And you do get the Stinger Blade. It's kind of interesting because you also get the Hunter Claw and the Strike Blaster. It's just a little bonus thing. It's not really used with him, but you could use it if you wanted to. Anyways, you just fit this around his hand here and peg it onto his arm, and now he's all good to go with the Beetle Battler Stinger Blade. So overall, that's pretty much all the accessories for a Blue Stinger Borg. He didn't come with anything else. I have everything as far as I can tell. There is no way for his weapons to, his Beetle Battler to store on his back, but that's okay. He didn't really do that in the show. You do have the option, because this does rotate. Of course, it will come out if you're not careful, but it does rotate. And unfortunately, it doesn't come with the Stinger Drill, just the Stinger Blade. And I would have liked to see the Stinger Drill, but I totally understand. It was a later edition, and this figure was made before that happened. So, fair enough. Anyways, that's Blue Stinger Borg. Triple Stinger Blade Attack. Next up is the Green Hunter Beetleborg, who is kind of the second in command of the team of sorts. He did take the lead, but as you can see, he is quite cool. In fact, instead of being a straight green version of the Blue Stinger Beetleborg, he actually has a different shoulder design, a different chest design. The legs are pretty much the same, and of course the head's different, but overall the design work is quite different from Blue Stinger, which is really nice. They did give the Beetleborgs a unique look, which is much appreciated. Now, up at the helmet here, you can see the eyes look very nice and reflective. Also having issues because of the green chrome. As you can see, the horns up here do have a tendency to warp because they are sticking out there. Not as much of an issue on Red Striker or Blue Stinger as it is on Green Hunter. As you can see, Green Hunter does look very nice overall, and he does a great job of throwing off my camera's white balance. As you can see, he has nice stickers, and pretty much the same deal going on here, with a different backplate than Blue Stinger, but the same basic idea is going on here, which is really, really cool. This does mean he has the same articulation, which is the same joints throughout, which is pretty nice. And of course, he does come with the sonic laser, which he can hold. So he's all set to go with that. And of course, you can fit it in the holster. And what's cool about these figures, they do have the range of articulation to have them remove their sonic lasers from their holsters. You can actually pull that off, which is much impressive considering that a lot of figures nowadays can't do that, or even have their guns removed out of their holsters. So there was that. Now, of course, he does have his Beetle Battler, which does come in 3 parts again, and this is the way it was packaged in the bubble back in the day. He naturally does come with an extra Stinger Blade and Strike Blaster. You see there, Green Hunter is all good to go with his Hunter Claw, and he looks quite nice. Plus, you can get him into a moderately good pose. I've had issues of this falling off of him more than, say, Blue Stinger, but there you go. Green Hunter is ready for battle. Triple Hunter Claw Attack. And here we have the Red Striker Beetleborg, easily the hardest to get of the original 3. From what I've found in my own research of the toys, Blue Stinger and Green Hunter are pretty easy to come by. Red Striker, not as much. She was not as available as the other 2, and I'm not really sure why, but I think it was because Blue Stinger and Green Hunter came out more in case assortments. I can't confirm that for sure, but Red Striker definitely is the harder of the 3 to find. And it's a reason a lot of people only have 2 of the 3 of the trio, which is quite unfortunate. I think Bandai should have kept the trio together, but you know Bandai, they're dumb sometimes. Anyways, Red Striker Beetleborg is the same base body as the others. She does have a new torso that is thinner. If you take a look at her torso compared to, say, Green Hunter here, you can see that she actually does have a smaller waist, which is awesome, especially considering this is the time Bandai was still doing, you know, female Power Rangers figures that use the same body molds as the male Rangers. And this is really cool that it is a different mold and it is thinner, so it does look more female. The legs are the same. It's like that on all the figures. The legs are the same, but I think the lower arms are the same on all of them too. But as you can see, this one actually does have some different molding here. I do apologize. She does have different arms from Blue Stinger and ShadowBorg, but are the same as Green Hunters. New chest armor, new shoulder pads, new back, which looks really good. Also, the red chrome looks very, very nice. Overall, quite a neat figure. Now, she does have the same articulation as the other figures. Another point to Bandai in '96 there. And overall looks really good. Of course, she has Sonic Laser. Same Sonic Laser piece we've seen 3 times now. She can, of course, holster it without a problem, which is super cool. And naturally, she does come with her Beetle Battler in 3 parts, which is the Gauntlet, the Battler itself, and the Strike Blaster, and of course comes with the Stinger Blade and Hunter Claw as well. So there you go. There is the Red Striker Beetleborg. We are getting to the point where further details into these are going to be a little less different, because they are still all based on the same figure. Triple Strike Blaster Attack. Finally, we have ShadowBorg. Now, ShadowBorg was an evil clone of the Blue Stinger Borg, made from a piece of his armor, so the chest design is very similar, with a different section in the middle. It has this red gem area instead of the techie detail. But other than that, he's very, very similar to the Blue Stinger Borg's design, except for the shoulder pads and the head. He's pretty much Blue Stinger. So there is that going for him. Now, of course, ShadowBorg here is in black chrome. Looks super nice overall. I think it gives it a nice sleek look. What's also cool is this figure does double as a General Vengex for you Forever Red fans out there from Power Rangers. And overall, he looks very, very, very nice. Now, of course, articulation is the same, but I gotta say one thing about his head sculpt. His horns have the ability to break off. I do actually have another ShadowBorg, and that one only had one of his horns. So be wary of that when looking for one. The possibility of him not having a horn is there. Also, things to be wary of is this guy is a little easier to get than Red Striker, but not by much. Being the villain, Bandai did not stock him as well as the heroes. Just a thing Bandai did. Anyways, he throws off the white balance completely because black chrome and black plastic and silver detailing. So we'll just have to go with that. Now, of course, he comes with a Sonic Laser, because all of them come with Sonic Lasers. It's a thing. That's why they have the holsters on their hips, so they can just go away. And then, as well, he does have a Shadow Claw. Now, a Shadow Claw does peg on here, like this, and you can see it's all good to go. Now, he doesn't come with the Beetleborgs weapons. Instead, he comes with an extended version of the Shadow Claw, which is perfectly acceptable, because what else does ShadowBorg really need? So you got that going on. What's cool is that the other side of the other arm does have pegs as well, so we can have 2 Shadow Claws. Or if you really, really want to, you could take this off, you could bring back in Blue Stinger here, and you could totally peg it on Blue Stinger's arm because they already molded the pegs in. So Blue Stinger can use the Shadow Claw too, which is pretty cool. So that's a neat little bonus feature that was completely unintentional. Overall, ShadowBorg's really cool, and like I said, does double as a General Vengex for Power Rangers. And he is that Bandai scale, so he will fit in. Also, if you're filming a review of him, I suggest really messing with your white balance settings ahead of time, because otherwise we get this blown out picture. So that's the Beetleborgs. So overall, the 5-inch Beetleborg action figures are quite cool. And if you find them for the right price, can be cheaper than their SH Figuarts releases. As cool as the Figuarts are, I really don't have the money to be spending $60 on a figure because of markup. And when I got these guys for about 10 each, my comic shop, thank you comic shop, it worked out quite well, and having the weapons does not incentivize me to get the figure arts. I feel like these guys are enough for me, especially with the prices of the figure arts right now. If the prices went down on those, I might get them, but as of right now, I'm sticking with these 4 figures. Overall, they are really solid figures, and I would recommend them to fans of Beetleborgs. But if you do have the money and you can find a good price on the figure arts, I would say go with the figure arts. But these aren't bad figures. These are actually quite good, especially for their time. They beat out a lot of modern figures as well. And it's funny because Bandai forgot how to do bicep and thigh swivels because they just don't do that anymore. And it's kind of funny the way that works now, doesn't it? Anyways, I definitely recommend these. Like I said, the prices for Blue Stinger and Green Hunter aren't too bad online, but ShadowBorg and Red Striker are a little bit more expensive. But if you can find them, definitely get them. They're really cool figures. So anyways, that is all for this week on Soundout's Toy Chest. Your clue for next episode is Ultimate Friends to the Boys and Girls. And until then, be sure to subscribe to Soundout 12 for 3 videos a week. Model Kit Monday on Mondays, where I review model kits of my choosing. Soundout's Toy Chest on Thursdays, a mystery review show where I provide a clue a week in advance. And the Soundout Review on Saturday, where I take a look at a recently released item from Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, and more. And also be sure to check out Hirotaka.com for all your Beetleborgs news and more. Till next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.